If you're going through divorce and wondering who gets the house, you are not alone. This is one of the most stressful and emotional processes many homeowners go through. If you live in Ohio, especially in Cincinnati, and going through divorce, there are few things you need to understand before you make rash and uneducated decision about your home. And today we're gonna break it down in a very simple steps, not from the legal perspective as I'm not an attorney, but from real estate perspective as somebody who helps people navigate through major transitions in their life and helps them make smart decisions when it comes to timing, pricing, and what comes next. So if you're asking who gets the house in divorce in state of Ohio, what happens to the mortgage, can we sell the house before the divorce is finalized, and what if none of us wants to keep the house, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Monika DeRoussel, #1 eXp agent in state of Ohio with eXp Realty, and I do help clients like yourself with the largest life transitions, whether it's relocation, downsizing, estate, and yes, divorce-related sales too.
Biggest disclaimer, every divorce situation is different. So for your legal rights, you have to consult with your legal advice. The main question is, who gets the house in divorce in state of Ohio? The answer is, it depends. It's not as simple, I want to keep the house and I keep the house. In real life, it depends on affordability, ownership, equity, and final legal judgment. I typically see 3 scenarios happening very often. The first one spouse keeps the house and it buys out the other spouse out. Typically, this requires refinancing, removing one spouse out of the mortgage and splitting the equity. Second scenario, house gets sold and equity is divided according to the divorce agreement. Third scenario, one spouse remains at the property while they're sorting out finance. Typically, this happens when we need more time because kids are involved or both parties are figuring out their finance and the sales occurs later. So what happens if both of your names are on the mortgage? This is the huge one. The lender doesn't care if you have a verbal agreement on who pays the mortgage, because if mortgage is paid late, both of you are affected. This is why it's so important to get clarity on who pays the mortgage, is the house gonna get refinanced during the divorce, and how long this timeline is gonna take. This is the point where the legal advice and real estate strategy has to work hand in hand. So when does selling home make sense? When neither of the spouses can comfortably afford home alone, when neither of the spouses can pay the other spouse equity, the home becomes more of a burden than the benefit, or both spouses just want a clean cut and move forward. Honestly, in high stressful situation like divorce, having split equity and move with a fresh start might be everything. Selling home during divorce or after divorce is a very different process than selling home normally. It requires clear communication, clear cooperation, scheduling showings, being in agreement on showings logistics, being in agreement on repairs, and just keeping it low-key because you don't need to add additional stress to the process you're going through. This is why it's so important to work with the agent who can stay calm during the process, keep moving things forward, and avoid getting both sellers into another battlefield. If you live in Cincinnati, each local market is different. Even if you're working with the attorney through the divorce, you need a real estate expert on your side to help you with pricing your property correctly, with avoiding expensive mistakes on the repairs that will not bring you money back, helping you with the perfect timing to hit the market, and also to hold your hand to make this as smooth and drama-free process as possible. In state of Ohio, we have something what we call double right. If you decide to get separated and not waste your time and money on divorce attorney, and 5 years later you decide to sell your home, guess what? Your ex-wife, even though you're not officially divorced, still owns 50% of your property. Download my free seller's guide. Click on the link below. It describes everything you need to know when it comes to selling your home, or just give me a call so we can discuss your private situation separately. Call me 513-289-1039. If you want to discuss real estate side of your decision, I will be more than happy to help you. I'm Monika DeRoussel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.